Hello, happy Sunday. Welcome back to my channel, Georgia Girl Aroma Wellness. And I'm your host, Georgia Girl. And a beautiful day today. Hope everybody enjoying that spring weather. Today is Sunday Talk, and March is Women History Month. Over here I talk about wellness, I talk about history, current events, awareness, and I share different things from meal preps to motivation. I'm all about uplifting myself along with others. And when I know that like something going on in the month, I try to bring information accordingly to whatever awareness or whatever be going on during each month. So we know March is Women History Month. This month is winding down. Hey Frank, how you doing? You watching the March Madness? I see it started. Happy Sunday. We also will be doing the Move Your Body Challenge. Move Your Body Challenge is so 5 days of walking. I'm going to be sharing some information concerning Women History Month, but I'm going to get into what we'll be doing this week. Happy Sunday, everybody. If you're peeping in the bushes, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. It's pretty outside, y'all. I went out there for a few minutes, and I said, woo, it's nice out here. So spring is here. Spring is here. Yeah, I see the March Madness have started. I saw that's what Frank was talking about. But so he don't watch college ball. But I see it getting started. This is what we'll be doing this week. It's called Move Your Body. It's a 5-day walking challenge. You can record it or go live, whatever you want to do to show where you've been walking for 5 days. And walking give you good health benefits. And this is for positivity, just to keep you uplifted. Walking help with stress. It help with heart health. Let me show that. So this is what we're doing this week. We got about 3 or 4 more. We got about 3 or 4 more challenges for this month. Well, it's gonna go into March. I'm not trying to be petty, but it feel like women history. Oh, it seems like it be everybody, but March. If you type in Women History Month, it'll show you where Women's Day was the 8th, and all month have been Women History Month. You said it seems like it every month. It's like the women are more involved, I guess. I don't know, but yeah, that's what it is. I had shared Black History Month last month, because February, Black History Month, I was sharing some things about women and men, and I started sharing some videos with some women that made impacts in the world. But this is the challenge we're doing this week, y'all. If y'all want to be part of the challenge, go for your little walk. I mean, you go long as you want to walk. I'm gonna make a few steps. See, this will be just my cardio for me this week. Instead of me doing my cardios, I'll be walking. Since my foot and everything seem to be all right, but I know my limits. Hey, Kenneth, how you doing? But I just want everybody to know this is what we'll be doing this week. I got my own journey to focus on also. But I'm part of the Challenge 2026. It's hosted by me and Miss Key. And Mona, if you listening, if you want to share it and take a challenge, just let us know. We want to get y'all involved. Hey, y'all. We want to get y'all involved, see what y'all want to do. So if you want to come up with some challenges, it'll be good. We already got some laid out for this month. but the rest of this month and April, because May I be going on vacation, but I start a couple of challenges before I go. Taking the kids to the beach. They're going on spring break. I think they last week gonna be next week. We're just taking them to the beach for the weekend, but in May we're going on a family cruise because my granddaughter will be graduating, so we were taking her on a cruise. It's good to see you, A-Child. I was just showing the challenge that coming up this week. If you want to be part of the challenge, that hashtag challenge 2026, you could tag me or me and Miss Key name in it and show your video. I like NBA, but it's too long. Woke me up when the NBA, wake you up when the NBA playoffs start. Okay. All right, right. Good to see you, A-Child. How's your family? How's everybody doing? And good to see you also, Kenny. Frank said it seems like it be Women History Month every month. Y'all have a month too, Frank. They have men health. I shared some last year. I'm gonna share some this year. They be having men health month. So I'm gonna get on into my commentary for today. I'll be sharing some of the history, just the history behind Women's History Month. All of us got history, men and women. All of us made some type of history out here. You know, we had the men marching for us. Also, the women was marching for us, you know, for the voting rights and things like that. They said Women History Month, the history of Women History Month. Women History Month is celebrated every March to honor the strength and contributions and achievement of women throughout history. It began as a local celebration, Santa Rosa, California, in 1978. The movement grew, and in 1990, the National Women History Project successfully lobbied for a national recognition. So Women's Day, women history is known all over the world. You love to walk? Yeah, we're gonna be walking for 5 days. You been doing okay? Good to see you. This is A-Child, y'all. I met her through the Art Kelly sector. You been doing okay though? I was peeping in on Dana the other day. I see he's still putting the work out, but I know there's still some devils over there. So, you know, I come in because I'm still part of the Dream Team. You know, I'm just doing my thing over here. And yeah, I saw what they did, another motion and everything, prayers going out to Art Kelly. You know, hopefully he'll get a new trial. However, they trying to do, hopefully it'll work out for him. But getting back to what I was going to be sharing today. So this right here is a known historic month. And it's for women. It's to honor women. Some women honor people in their neighborhood, like their local people in government, and like your mayor. You have a mayor, woman mayor, or a woman judge. You know, that's history. Because you don't have that many women, especially Black women, as judges. So if anybody in your hometown, anybody in your state that you would like to honor, maybe a teacher or somebody like a teacher, or maybe a police officer, but it's just like for the women this month. Y'all men get y'all flowers too. Y'all be represented during February month too. That's Black History Month. So they talk about men too. So this began in 1978, but the movement grew in 1980 for the National Women History Project to successfully lobby for national recognition. Because I know they got like women conference and things like that coming up, you know, at churches. They have something for women that, you know, they do different things at the school. you know, a lot of women be recognized for their local work, not just only women that we know is part of history, but like I said, your local, you have a local sheriff or police one, you know, because a lot of women doing those things now. We have women police officers, we have women firemen, we have women driving trucks, we have women doing a little everything now. You know, they can just about do some of the things a man can do, you know. So we will recognize some of the women's over here that made an impact. It ain't just only Black women, it's also some white women's made history also. So I'm just gonna read their names off and talk about them for a minute. So how's everybody enjoying this beautiful spring? Ooh, thank you, Jesus. It's warming up, y'all. Now this is my kind of weather right here. This is my kind of weather. The same year, President Jimmy Carter declared the first National Women History Week. So if y'all know who Jimmy Carter, he was the president. He was the one that acknowledged National Women's History Week, but they turned it into a whole month. So this happened in 1987. That's the year I graduated. By 1987, Congress expanded to a full month, and March became officially recognized as Women History Month. So President Jimmy Carter, he was the first one to put it in. They took it to Congress. They made it. It was 1 week, but you know, I guess it was getting so many recognitions, and they was doing things to acknowledge people that have made impacts across the world. They changed it for a month. Cause they do like luncheons and things like that. Cause they just recently, and I should have went. They just recently had the lady what played on How Did I Get Married? The one named Tasha. Y'all remember the woman named Tasha? They had her in Columbus last Friday. I should have went, but I didn't go. She spoke to a lot of women, and y'all know Tasha from How Did I Get Married? Yeah, she spoke. She was a speaker, and she spoke in front of a lot of women, and they had a luncheon. You know, I should have went on a win because I'm just wondering if she loud for real. Y'all know how she be on the movies, right? I know she be acting, but I be saying to myself, is she really that ratchet for real? And of course, I got my little friend, my little tea with me. Can't leave my tea and water behind. Yeah, I would have loved to see her. I told my daughter we should have got them tickets. You know, I heard a lot of people say it was nice though. So like I said, they do different things to celebrate women history, from luncheon to they present women like in their areas with plaques and awards. And, you know, it's just all about giving people their flowers, just giving people their flowers while they're here. I didn't know about it. Yeah. It was in Columbus, Georgia, from my way, down my way. Yeah. Give people their flowers while they're here. You deserve your flowers. So I'm going to give everybody some flowers while they're in my chat. And I'm going to get into some of the women that I got on my list today, just sharing a brief what they did and what they stood for. Women History Month honors the vital role of women in history and inspires future generations to lead, grow, and thrive. That's right. And Women History Month is for all women, you know, all color. You know, February was Black History Month, but this is women history. So all women, all walks of life, whatever your religion, whatever your race, if you have done something to impact the world in some kind of way, you be honored. So on my channel today, I'm honoring all my women in my chat that's part of my channel. You know, even though some of us might have some titles, some of us might not, but either way, this is Women History Month. And, you know, you probably have your children look up to you, your grandkids, things like that. You probably inspire someone in your family. Somebody might tell you in your family that they're proud of you. Keep doing what you're doing, and they see you to work. You know, because my kids will tell me, Mama, we see what you be doing over there on your channel. You've been hanging in there with it. I said, yeah, I'm trying. So they, you know, they always tell me that keep up the good work and stuff like that. And they know I had been through a lot losing my mom, and I've been working on my channel a lot because I've been trying to keep myself calm and stay busy. You see what I'm saying? If I don't stay busy and I sit back and just stay calm, I get to thinking about my mom, and you know, it get harder and harder, but I ask God to continue to make me strong. So my mom is my inspiration. She's the one that inspired me to keep going. Even though she's not here with me no more, I'm still being inspired because I know she's watching over me. I know she's with me daily through her spirit. But you know, it ain't been easy for me, guys. It ain't been easy. But I thank God for his grace and mercy that he keeping me stronger in my sanity and keeping me from being so stressed. You know, that's why I do some of the things I do when it comes down to my health, trying to focus on that, trying to keep myself on the path I need to be on. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Your children tell you things like how much they appreciate you. And, you know, if you're a sister to someone, maybe your brothers might mention. I know my brother will be like, girl, we love you, girl. You know, we love you. You know, something like that, you know. But give people their flowers. Give them their flowers. So we know there was people before us, our ancestors, people before our grandparents that paved the way for us. So they recognize these women. They put their names are in the history book. You can always listen podcast music for it. Yeah, I've been doing pretty good lately, Frank. I've been, you know, I have my moments, but yeah, my channel helped keep me occupied too. Then being around my grandkids, because my granddaughter had a game the weekend. She got me out there early that morning too. I'm like, oh, girl, I do it for my babies. So right here, just still, like I said, I was just showing the history behind Women History Month. Jimmy Carter was the one who first put the proclamation out, and I'm just gonna go over some names of people. You know, y'all know these people names because they is part of our history. They are the ones, like I said, Women History Month recognize Black, white, Latino, whatever your race is, as long as they know that they got you in the history book for doing some of the things to be acknowledged. So right here, I'm just gonna go with these ladies right here. I don't know if y'all know about Susan B. Anthony. Have y'all ever heard of her? Y'all ever heard of Susan B. Anthony? You probably heard about her in the history books. Susan B. Anthony, she fought for women's right to vote. She helped fought for women's right. That's why I said some of the people on my list today, they helped marched, and some of them got arrested because Susan B. Anthony got arrested because she was out there trying to get people to vote. And she's white. So it wasn't just only Black people out there marching. There was white people and other races out there marching also. You said my sister had me. Okay, yesterday she bought me some special earring. Wow, see, stuff like that. Stuff like that. I like stuff like that. When people take you somewhere and Sometimes you don't be asking, it's just the thought. Somebody like my friend, when we went the other week, she had took me out to lunch. She lost her mom last year too, and so we try to help each other. We try to lift each other's spirits up. She got me out the house when I think I had came live that day. We had went out there and ate and had fun. So Susan B. Anthony, she helped fought for women's rights. She even got arrested. Oh, that's sweet. She's also got arrested because she was out there trying to help people register and help them get ready to vote. So she helped a lot of women. She was an activism, and she helped a lot of women out back in the 1840s and stuff like that. So she's part of our history, Susan B. Anthony. I have heard her name in the history books. They talked about her at school. Do y'all remember people talking about her, this lady at school, Susan B. Anthony, and the role that she played for people to vote? I'm just going to read a little brief. She was born in 1820 in Massachusetts. She was raised as a Quaker, and her belief in equality inspired and guided her throughout her life work. Anthony fought for the abolition of slavery in 1856. She served as American Anti-Slavery Society agent, making speeches, organizing meetings, and distributing pamphlets. So she was all about for the women's right. Okay. She traveled around the world advocating for women's rights and lobbied Congress every year until her death. Wow. She died in 1906, 14 years later, before men and women were given the right to vote with the passage of 19th Amendment. So she was one of the reasons why we was able to vote. Susan B. Anthony. And the next person is Eleanor Roosevelt. She was an advocate for human rights and equality. All these women played a role in why we got some of the things we got today. That's why I say it's so important. If you have registered to vote, vote. Make your voice be heard. Make your voice be heard, because that's what that's what a lot of these people voted for. That's what a lot of people went to Congress for back in the 1800s and early centuries. They did all that for us. No, she was married to Franklin Roosevelt. So she was the wife of Franklin Roosevelt. And, she was an advocate. She stood for women's rights. So along with her husband, she had, she was out there trying to get people to vote and trying to make sure they had equal rights. I thank God, like I said, we might not be living in the days how some of these women and some of the women before them, because, slavery is no more, and people are able to vote. But there's still some people out here still think that they make you feel like you're not important. You know what I'm saying? Don't let a person make you feel like you're not worthy, because you are. A title don't make a person. A title don't make that person. You can have everything in the world, but it still don't make it seem like you all that, because anybody can get this and that. Anybody can get material stuff, and that kind of stuff can be taken away from you. But like I said, she was married to She was married to the 32nd president, Franklin D. Roosevelt. So she was an advocate. She believed in women's rights. So the next person is Amelia Earhart, first female actor. Wait, let's see what that say. First female avatar to run solo across the world. Okay. I think they had a movie about her one time. She was the first lady to, hold on, American Avatar. That's what she was. She was the first lady to fly across the world. Wow. She became the first female passenger to cross the Atlantic by airplane, flying from Newfoundland to Northern Ireland in 14 hours and 56 minutes. Wow. Despite the poor weather and malfunction, Earhart achievements improved public acceptance of aviation and inspired men and women to pursue commercial flight. Okay. They said she was never found. She was killed in a plane. They said she was never found. So her plane was not found or her remains. But they still acknowledge that she's no longer here. They said while numerous researches have been conducted over the last 90 years, including a recent underwater sonar scans in 2023, 2025, no conclusion, evidence, or smoking gun has been discovered to confirm the final resting place of Lockyer. What? So she was the first lady to be on a plane, but they never found her body. They never found her body. They didn't find the plane. And this happened over 90 years ago. And people are still out there, like they trying to do studies on it. And, because now they got different ways you can look up underwater and stuff, but they still haven't found it though, y'all. And that been over 90 years ago. Wow. So they acknowledge her for going across the being in the airplane so many hours. That's why they acknowledge her on Women's History Day. Okay. So they said some evidence such as old artifacts found on islands had led to theories of her being a castaway. Nothing has been definitely linked to her. The official United States government conclusion remained that the plane ran out of fuel and crashed into the ocean. Yep, they saying she crashed, but they never did find her body, and they never did find no parts of the plane, and it crashed in the ocean. I'm like, what? I mean, they still saying she passed away, but they just ain't got no, and I know if you're part of her family, a lot of the family members probably still ain't got closure because, just like that lady with missing now, the Gerthy lady, Nancy Gerthy, they still ain't found that little lady. Somebody kidnapped that lady. Somebody got that lady out of her house, and they still haven't found nobody, and it's been over a month. But her family is not giving up, saying that they think she, they saying in so many words they don't think she's still living, but they haven't found her body. They haven't found who kidnapped her, so they haven't called it like, they haven't said it like she's dead yet, but they're assuming that lady is dead because of her health issues, and she's supposed to be on medication, critical medication every day. So whoever kidnapped her, they still haven't found it yet, y'all. But I pray for the little lady. So, what name is her? Let me get back to her. Amelia Earhart. That's why I was talking about her today. We just talked about Eleanor Roosevelt and Susan B. Anthony. The next one is Florence Nightingale. That's the next one. All these people in the history books for their recognitions and things like that. So who was Florence Nightingale? She was an English social reformer, statistician, and the founder of modern nursing. So she was into nursing. And she was like one of those nurses like during the war where she was caring for like the soldiers that was wounded and things like that. So she was one of those nurses. They saying she organized care for wounded soldiers. She significantly reduced death rate by improving hygiene and living standards. Nightingale nursing a favorite reputation to become an icon of Victorian culture, especially in the person of the lady with the lamp, making rounds of wounded soldiers at night. So she was one of those soldiers. That is something else. Talking about the little lady Nancy. Yeah, it's something about that case. But Florence Nightingale was a nurse. She was one of those nurses that would help with the men that was getting wounded and hurt during the war. She would, be one of those nurses. So they got her as like she was like a provider. She tried to make sure everybody was getting the care they need. I heard of this lady, but I didn't know. I never really read her biography about what did she really do. Okay. So she just reading some. She was an advocate. She was helping people like was going through hunger and stuff like that. She was trying to help people like that. She was trying to help abolish the prostitution laws. You know how it was back then in the slavery days and the old days, they would get slaves and things like that. I thank God we don't have to live like that now. You don't have to be nobody's slave. That ain't happening. But there is some cruel people out there now that think they can own you now. She was also a writer, so she was trying to spread the word about medical nursing and different things like that. Try to help throughout the century. So these are the women that I talked about today. Susan B. Anthony, Eleanor Roosevelt, Amelia Earhart, and Florence Nightingale. They done made movies on a lot of these ladies too, because I seen a brief passage of a movie about Florence Nightingale. So moving along, now I'm finna get to I have to recognize all women of history. So these women are part of our history. So the next group, I know y'all might be familiar with these names right here. Harriet Tubman, Rosa Parks, Maya Angelou, Shirley Chisholm, and Sojourner Truth. We probably read about all these women here in our history book. We know what Harriet Tubman and what she stood for. We know she didn't play. Harriet Tubman didn't play. My granddaughter, I was just listening to my granddaughter, right? She's 7. And she was talking about Harriet Tubman because they talking about it in school. And I was just sitting there just listening at it. I said, oh, I said, yeah, when she was talking about it, I was like, yeah, she did do that. She did, but she learning though, when she ain't being bad. But I know she been paying attention because she was talking about Harriet Tubman just like she was reading a book, but she wasn't reading a book. She was just speaking on what the teacher had taught her. And I told her, that's good. Pay attention. If you pay attention, you can learn a lot. So we know Harriet Tubman was an American abolitionist and social activist. After escaping slavery, Tubman made some 13 missions to rescue approximately 70 enslaved people, including her family. I know they did movies about her. So she was able to help free some slaves, including her family and friends, using a network of anti-slavery activists and safe housing known as collectively as the Underground Railroad. Yeah, she had them people going through them woods, and they had babies with them too. During the American Civil War, she was served as an Army scout and a spy for the United States Army. In her later years, Tubman was an activist in the movement of women's suffrage. So her title is known as, they call her Black Moses. She was an abolitionist and a social activist. So she helped show them how to escape. They had secret passwords. We say passwords, but back then they used to have like signals where they know what the signals were. Either they'll sing a song or either they'll do some type of noise to let the people know, where they at in the woods and stuff. She taught them the code. She taught them the way how to survive. That's what she was doing. I'm more into history today than I was growing up. Yeah, me too, Frank. Because some of this stuff I'm talking about now, we talked about it in school. I ain't going to tell no story. Sometimes I was paying attention and sometimes I wasn't. But it's good to know your history. Over here, y'all get to live it out. But it's good to know your history, though. So Harriet Tubman, the movie with Cicely Tyson, she played her. She played her and Sojourner Truth. And she deserved awards for both of those women because she was playing those parts. She really was. I don't know what my granddaughter think I know I'm 57, but she'll be saying, Grandma, were you back there with the slave? I'm like, God, no. When we went down there to that museum, it was so educational. It was very powerful. And she was like, Grandma, was you a slave? I'm like, girl, I wasn't no slave. I wasn't no slave. I said, your my mama, them, they used to pick cotton and stuff. Now my mama, grandparents, I think they was in the slavery day. You listen, but you didn't care, okay? But at least know now that some of the things that they taught us was very important. Because, when I first seen the Harriet Tubman movie, like, wow, we heard about it in school, and then you see the movie, and you be like, she really helped all those people. She did. People was hungry. She had to try to make sure they was fed. They was out there in the woods running. Half of them, the only thing they had shoes on, but they was trying to, go to a better life. They wanted to be free. And so she came up with a plan, and they got together, and she freed some of them. But, I don't think I would want to be in that. I'm glad I wasn't in that part of life where you got to keep running and running, because a lot of them slaves was just running for their lives, y'all. They ain't know which way to go. They didn't know. Because everybody back then was slave, Now we have choices. We have choices where if we don't want to do something, we don't have to do it. It ain't where now somebody gonna whip us and make us do it or try to whip us and take things from us. We ain't having that now. But like I said, there's still some cruel people out there think they think they own people and they feel like they can control people, but ain't nobody stand for nobody whipping them these days. Some people fighting back the best way they can. We don't have to live in that way now. Yeah. The next person is Rosa Parks. We learned, like I said, we learned about all this in school. We know what it was another lady before her, but they don't talk about the other lady the way they talk about Rosa Parks. So we know, and when I went to that museum a couple years ago, they showed, it was just like, it was just amazing how this in Montgomery, and they was reenacting what went on with Rosa Parks. She didn't want to get off that bus. But those other black people, they were scared. They got up. They was trying to tell her to leave, but she knew what she stood for. So Rosa Parks was an American civil rights activist. She's known for her 1955 refusal to move from seat on bus to Montgomery, Alabama. Back then it was Jim Crow area. They owned, well, in other words, they had slaves, and blacks couldn't sit with the whites and whites couldn't sit with the black, and they couldn't drink at the same water fountain, couldn't go to the same restaurants and stuff like that. See, that was a bad area right now in time. That one you have to, can't even drink out. Now everybody go where they want to go. But still, some people look at you like you don't belong in certain places. But you have the right to be able to go where you can go, do what you can do. If you work and take care of your bills and taking care of your family, you have the right to go where you want to go. So she was an activist. So they say she also known as the mother of civil rights. And then they arrested her. They even locked her up, They charged her because she didn't want to get out the seat. But I thank God. I thank God we ain't got to live like that. And I think some people still stuck in it. I think some people still think they still in the 1850s. So they said many people still think of her as a tired seamstress and an old lady. But she was just 42 years old. She was the secretary of the local NAACP chapter, and she had been politically active in campaigns. But she was 42 years old when that happened. So she was already working with the NAACP, with the civil rights. So these ladies, they paved the way, bus. After that bus thing went on, people started, they started to fight. They, it's just like they saying she did it. Why can't we do it? And she was the first black person to be arrested for violating Montgomery segregated bus seating rules. So they did arrest her. I did a video of her not too long ago. Yep. So they did arrest her. Let's see. Days after Park arrest, black leaders in Montgomery organized a city bus boycott on December 5th, 1955. About 40,000 black bus riders representing the majority of the city bus community boycotted the city transit system. So after that happened to her, they boycotted. They didn't drive. Wow. So it was about 40,000 black bus drivers. So that's why they always say she started the boycott, the bus boycott. So this is Rosa Parks. She is in the history books. Hey Mickey, how you doing? Just doing a little history over here. I had talked about the you say you called the Move Your Body Challenge. I had told we doing walking for 5 days. How your day been? So the next person is Maya Angelou. So these are the women that I'm representing for Women History Month. Maya Angelou. She was a poet. She was also an activist. You know, she believed in women's rights, but she's known for her poetry. She was a poet, a memoirist, a civil rights activist, and mostly for her groundbreaking 1969 biography, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. She is renowned for her candid writing on racism, identity, and resilience, as well as her powerful poetry, including Still I Rise and Phenomenal Woman. It's been going pretty good. It's been going pretty good. It's pretty outside. It is pretty outside. Well, they said spring is here. But I've been doing good. Doing good. So Maya Angelou is also honored on Women History Month, known for her being an activist, a poet, and she did a lot of good poetry. And yeah, she did a lot of good poetry. I love her poetry about I Rise, Still I Rise, and I like the one about Phenomenal Woman. I like that one too. So she was a civil rights activist. You know, she believed in people, you know, rights. So she recited this poem at President Bill Clinton inauguration in 1993, making her the first black woman to speak at a president inauguration. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. You know, she won awards and different things from a because she spoke very intelligently. You know, she's her poems and her quotes and things like that. One of my favorite quotes from her is read my favorite quote for her. She had a lot of quotes, but this one right here really, I like this one the most because they said when people show you who they are, believe them. And that is true. When people really show you who they are, believe them. When they show you, in other words, if somebody try to show they ate, they you know what to you. You know, it's time for you to cut them loose. But when people show them who they really are, that's how you find out who people are. You'll know who's there for you and who's not. Because some people just show they natural, you know what. Y'all know they do. Some of them would make a scene, cause all kind of problems. But yeah, when people show you who they are, believe them. This phrase, widely attributed to Maya Angelou, is a piece of wisdom that encourages individuals to trust the action over words and believe a person's true nature when it first revealed. And that's true. When people show you who they are the first time, you don't have to show me but one time how you is. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to show me but one time. You know how sometimes you can read people, you can pick up on their vibes and stuff. sometimes you have to pick up on them. So that's one of my favorite quotes from Maya Angelou. So she's also honoring the books for being an activist. All these ladies up here on this stream, and even the ladies that I showed before, all of them believed in civil rights and women right and equals right. You know, they was fighting for us to have equal pay, for the have rights to vote and things like that. Believe their action. Ooh, yes, you better say it. Sometimes you don't even have to say nothing. People will speak through their action. But the next person is Shirley Chisholm, and I just shared different things about her. She was the first Black lady to Congress. She was also the first Black lady to be running for president. I don't know if y'all seen the movie Regina King. She played her part so good. So she's known for to be the first Black lady of Congress. I like that little Black lady they got in Congress now, y'all. Yeah, all these women are strong and they led, they, set examples. They set examples, they paved the way. The little lady in Congress now, Jasmine Crockett, she don't play. She got a voice on her too. So she was a former United States representative. She ran for president, and she was also she represented the state of New York. She was known as a politician in 1968. She became the first Black woman to be elected in the United States Congress. Yep. So she did it for 7 terms. She became the first Black candidate for a majority party. This was in 1972. I know when I was born in 69, so I didn't know too much about her because I was 3 years old. So in 1972, she became the first Black candidate for a major party nomination for president of the United States and the first woman to run for Democratic Party presidential nomination. Throughout her career, she was known for taking a resolute stand against economic, social, political injustice, and well as being a strong supporter of Black civil rights and women's rights. So all these women on this panel, they stood for us. They tried to make sure us as Black women have those rights. So that is Shirley Chisholm, the first Black lady in Congress, the first Black lady to run for the Democratic Party for president. Well, she's not really Black, because somebody gonna come in my chat like they did last time I talked to her. She ain't Black. She got some other stuff in her too, but they got it on their book. She Black, even though she wasn't. She was born in another part of the country. So the last person on the list is Sojourner Truth. We read about her in school, read about her in the books. And Cicely Tyson also played her. Cicely Tyson, she played a lot of strong lead, Black women leads like Harriet Tubman, Sojourner Truth. She played those parts. So she was known as an American abolitionist also. She was an activist for the African American civil rights, women's rights, and alcohol temperance. Truth was born into slavery, but escaped with her infant daughter to freedom in 1826. Okay. She was known to be an abolitionist in 19th century women's rights. She's known for her powerful, charismatic speaking style. She's most famous for her Ain't I a Woman speech, fighting for equal rights and becoming the first Black woman to win a lawsuit against a white man to recover her son. Wow. Okay. So she won a lawsuit against a white man. I guess he had and did something to her son. Okay. So they say in 1828, Sojourner Truth, the first black person to win a court case against a white man in a battle to recover her son, Peter, who was illegally sold into slavery in Alabama. Wow. She fought for women's rights. She was an advocate for women's suffrage and equal rights, pushing for the intersectional rights of black women during the women's rights movement. She was also part of the Civil War activists. Mm. So she changed her name to Sojourner Truth. What was her real name? So she changed her name to that. I'm reading some now. I'm trying to see did Harriet Tubman and Sojourner Truth ever met? Yes, Sojourner Truth and Harriet Tubman knew each other and were fellow abolitionists who met in Boston in 1864. Because they were basically fighting for the same thing. Civil right, justice, women right, they all had the same goal. So they were both they was trying to help people. Although they operate in different spheres, Truth as a speaker, activist, and Tubman as a underground railroad conductor. Okay. They shared a deep mutual respect and a common bond in the fight against slavery. So they both was against slavery. They had their own identity, but they both stood for the same thing, but in different parts of the country. But they was able to meet. Okay. They said in 1864, Truth encouraged Tubman to support President Lincoln, but Tubman was more skeptical of the government party due to unequal pay for black soldiers. See, they was fighting for soldiers to have a better life. Let me answer the phone. But yes, all these women that I did share today, they all was for civil rights, equal pay, and justice. Trying to put both of them up kind of trying to see if I put both of them up kind of together. I'm trying to see how can I do this. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to. Let's see. Let's see. Hey y'all, good to see everybody. Happy Sunday. But yeah, I was just speaking on women history. I was talking about these ladies that is part of our history. They are in the history book. All these ladies are in the history books. All of them is in the history book. Um, And there are more women. I couldn't name all of them, but there are a lot of women that did make history. A lot of women did make history, whether they did things for civil rights or they tried to figure out a way. Thank you. Try to figure out a way. I got on me some spring colors. I had went out today. I put on me some to bring the spring in. Yep. You excited about spring? I know we start the walking challenge tomorrow. I'm gonna probably end up walking in my yard for a little bit tomorrow. You know, just get a few steps in. I won't do my cardio this week. I just do my the head hurt. I'll just do my the walking because walking is good for stress. It's good for heart health. It give you good benefits for walking. Shout out to you, Miss Key, for coming up with the name. I know Mona want to know, could she do some challenge? Could she make up some challenges? I told her, if anybody want to do some challenges, then let us know. We'll get together. We'll, I say anybody can know. If anybody come up with something what they want to do, just let us know. So the health benefits of walking is boost your energy, burn calories, improve mood, support heart health, strengthen muscle. Yep. So this is what we'll be doing next week. I guess the weather. I haven't seen the weather for this week, but I'm thinking they're gonna be pretty outside. I'm gonna try to get my walk in once I get up. Probably walk around the yard for a little bit. And if I be out somewhere, I'll try to get me some steps in too. But this is just part of our networking and doing things to help improve our health and to work with our channels, networking with other YouTube creators and stuff like that. Hey, Liz. How you doing? And thank you. I see you had came in earlier today. I was just talking about women history. This is the challenge we're doing this week. 5 days of walking. Anybody want to be part of it? Hashtag challenge 2026. And you could tag our names in. Thank you for sharing me out, Lewis. I don't get that many people to share out. Thank you. I appreciate it. It helps. This is what I was talking about here. I was talking about these ladies right here. Susan B. Anthony, Eleanor Roosevelt, Amelia Earhart, and Florence Nightingale. All of these ladies are part of our history, from flying across the world in an airplane, from being activists, nursing, and they were all for about advocating for women's rights and women equal pay. Also, these women's right here, we have, we have Harriet Tubman, Rosa Parks, Maya Angelou, Shirley Chisholm, Sojourner Truth. All these women stood for something. They stood for equal right, equal justice. They believed in, they didn't like to do violence, but in the century they was in, they had to survive. You know what I'm saying? Harriet Tubman was out there in the wood. She was, from that movie I seen, she was acting just like a man. She would fight back too. Rosa Parks stood her ground. She did not believe their seat. It's easy to share people out. They're going to go on live. You have a community tab. Just go to your community. Yeah, I know. But I appreciate you, though. What you got coming up this week? Of course, we got the challenge. You know, you can either do a live stream or you can walk or you can post what you did walk that day. Just need to know everybody that's participating. I thank everybody for their support. If you coming in my chat, that support, that's good, you know. I know today's Sunday, a lot of y'all probably resting up for the week or probably doing your own thing. But this week I'll be still focusing on, I'm trying to do less sugar this week. Continue to eat more food with fiber. And try to avoid all that food will give you inflammation. And I'll be doing the walking challenge. So, you know, like I said, some of the things that I'm doing, you know, this, I'm not telling people to do what I do, but if you choose to do it, it's be up to you. But, you know, if you got underlying health issues, make sure you consult your doctor about anything that you change up. The former FBI director. Oh, yeah. Ooh, I heard about him. The community have been on YouTube for a long time. Yeah. Ooh, yes, I heard about that man. But did y'all see what y'all president said? Oh my God. I don't care. Where my feet hurt. I know when I get to walking, they're gonna probably hope it don't flame my feet back up. Cause I sure don't want to go back down that road. But did y'all see what y'all president said? It doesn't matter. I don't wish death on nobody. I don't wish death on. If I got an enemy, I wouldn't wish death on nobody. This crazy man, how are you gonna say when the man died, right? When the man died, he talking about he glad the man dead. How you as being the president saying that about somebody? You know, they probably had some bad blood because he was the FBI director and they were getting him about the what they call that thing? The Russian stuff. But he still had to say what he said, though. You don't have to wish. Don't say that about nobody. If you don't like a person, you don't want to deal with a person, if they pass, if you don't have, they always tell me, if you don't have nothing good to say about nobody, just don't say nothing at all. Don't say nothing at all if you don't have nothing good to say about nobody. How the leader of our country, the leader of the United States, gonna make a statement like, let me read what they said that man said. But they said when that man named Charlie Kirk got killed, they didn't want nobody to say nothing bad about him. What a man named Robert Mueller. Everybody talking about what that man said. Because he investigated Trump. That's what he did. This is what Donald Trump said. Good. I'm glad he's dead. Trump insensitive comment about a dead hit a new level. They already know how the man is. Is anybody surprised at the way he is? I don't think nobody's surprised the way Trump. But for you to speak about somebody's death like that, I was taught the same way. If you can't say nothing nice, then keep to. You better say it. He didn't even, look, okay, the man investigated him for Russia, right? He investigated him for Russia, right? Trump is out. Oh, he your best president? Okay. I ain't been arguing. But if that's what you say, hey, it is what it is. But respect the dead. You still gotta respect the dead. I respect people who say Trump. If you feel like Trump is the best president, you have your right. Nobody over here ain't gonna argue with you. Hey, Mona, how you doing? Good to see you. And if you want to come up with some challenges when we do them the next time, just let us know. So if Trump your best is the best president, okay, let's let who that person came in the chat. Let me go to their name right quick. We respect people's opinions over here. I have friends that feel the same way about Trump, but that's just their opinion. That's how they feel. Nobody would not take your opinion and how you feel. I just said he was being very disrespectful. This man dead. When this happened? Like 2 or 3, 4 years ago, 5 years ago when it happened? I don't know. But and you the president, people are looking at what you're saying. You have to set example for people. Just like all of us have to set example for people. If you out here doing crazy stuff, how you gonna set example for the new generation, the generation coming up? Trump. Trump has been this maybe before became president. I don't understand why so many people are. I mean, respect is due to everybody. Respect is due to everybody. I mean, you ain't gotta like me, but you need to respect me. You see what I'm saying? You ain't gotta like a person, but you still gotta respect them. That was for him to be the president. He should have made a public announcement. Sorry, tell the family, cause that man was somebody's daddy. That was somebody's husband. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's brother. Trump. Let me see what he's saying about Trump. I ain't gonna go back and forth with you now. Trump had actually done something for our country. Okay, that's your opinion. I ain't saying he haven't did anything. I just don't look. What gets me when he's too look, I'm just gonna say this. He act like a child. He act like a child. His behavior. He have tantrums. Then things don't go his way. I don't follow politics like that, but since you got brought in my chat, I speak on it. Look at these gas prices. You know, they gonna get any lower? Or the price of the gas is gonna get any lower. My friend Brian, he went Trump. He a nice person. I don't argue with him about his opinion. I just don't like how he treat people. You have to treat people the way you want to be treated. And I felt like what he said about that man was very disrespectful. If you felt a certain way about Robert Mueller, which we know everybody already know how you feel, you should have just kept that. If you wasn't going to do anything to help comfort the family by saying some nice words or generous words about praying for the family or something like that, you know, but yeah, it is what it is. Was that Trump? Lord, that man. Yeah, he said the man died. He died yesterday? I'm looking at it. He died yesterday. You know, he was investigating Trump, right? But like I said, sometimes people don't realize, sometimes your mouth, that little tongue in that mouth will mess you up. That thing will have you get in trouble for running your mouth. And whoever his aides or whatever they want to call it, want the people that they need to tell him, look, that ain't nothing good for you to say about somebody that was part of he was part of the Obama era. You know, anything considering Obama, you know, he gonna have something to say anyway. So the man died on yesterday, March the 20th. You know, he had some type of they say he was fighting Parkinson's disease. But him and Donald Trump had the man didn't finally look. He ought to be thankful the man didn't get him arrested. He didn't get arrested. He didn't get arrested during that time. Yes, they had those meetings about him, but he still was able to run for president again. That ain't changed that. Still president. If Trump, I'm trying to see what you say. Okay. If Trump is the best president, then that says a lot about you. I do agree he can be disrespectful, but at least he's speaking honestly instead of fake tears. So you feel like what he said about that man was okay? Now we just having a conversation. Ain't nobody gonna get rowdy or anything like that. So you think what Trump said about that man was okay? Just say yes or no. We ain't talking about what the man had did, because that man had left the White House and the FBI 4 or 5 years ago. The thing about Trump and people, they hold grudges. They don't let stuff go. Because he going on and on and on about 2020 election. Man, in 2026. Think about what's going on in the world today, okay? Not what happened in 2020. That's old with, done with. Think about what's going on today in the United States. So, I don't think you've never been in my chat before. I'm letting you stay here. I'm not going to block you because you haven't said anything disrespectful. So y'all let them, maybe he okay. He or she, they okay. They just speaking their opinion, okay? As long as they're not attacking no one in the chat, as long as they're not saying anything bad to me, we'll let them live. But as soon as somebody come in here, because I know when you get to talk about Trump, somebody gonna come in your chat. But you being respectful. Let me see what your name is. Francis, you're being respectful. So that's all about what I like over him, respecting others. And that's the same thing for the president. I don't think he should have made no statement. Right now, we're just talking about some current stuff that going on, floating across the internet. Everybody talking about what Trump said about this man. Yes, he investigated him in that Russia stuff, but what did they find? Did they find anything to convict Donald Trump? Did they? No. That's why I said some people don't know how to. Some people do not know how to let go and let God. They really don't. He needs some God in his life. If Trump ain't got God in his life, he need him in now. That's all I'm going to say about that. What Mona had said? Okay. But yeah, we respect people's opinions over here. We really do. Trump, let's see what Frank said. Trump had his own show about firing people, and he was happy about it. What is show called? I know he used to be saying, "You are fired." I remember him saying that, "You are fired." Oh, Lord Jesus. Okay. But I was just speaking on women history. I spoke on some women that was part of history. And like I said, this is Women History Month. And, I have been sharing some different little videos and stuff about different women, from Harriet Tubman to Rosa Parks, Susan B. Anthony. I did a couple of shorts on them. Let's see what y'all saying. What you saying, Mom? President should not disrespect a man who's doing his job. That's true, Mona. See, the thing about it, if you're not doing the way he wants you to do, he gonna speak on it, That's why I said I didn't vote for him, but the people that did, they had their reason. And they, like the person came in the chat. They say they feel like he's the best president. They feel like he's doing a good job. That's their opinion because he was one. They was one to put him in office. But you should be disappointed about him. You should be like, this is not what I voted for. But it is what it is. I don't try to change nobody's opinion about that. That's why you have that right to vote for who you want. That's why those women I had up here on this stream, they fought in March. They fought for you to vote. Make your vote count. Like Obama said, don't boo, vote. he know he took me that day there when they was getting ready to vote or something. They would have a rally and the folk would try to boo every time he would say something out there. They say something about somebody. He said, don't boo, vote. It's too funny. But I respect Francis. We respect you over here, Francis. That's your opinion. Anybody that come over here. Like I said, I have friends that voted for him. That's what they wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? That's what they wanted to do. So it is what it is. But I tell you, I have said this. It doesn't matter if I voted for him or not. He still became president. And it doesn't matter what party what part I'm part of. I'm still a United States citizen. And I still have my rights. And we still should all be treated equally, no matter what political party you're from, or your race, or your political party. Because they said he was trying to, I had read somewhere where he was trying to cut things down for people that he know who voted for him and he know who did, the blue state, the red state, whatever. He wasn't trying to help states that didn't vote for him. How you going to be a president for one-sided people? Because I was looking at some of his speech when he did the, what they call it? The State of the Union. It seemed like half of the room wasn't standing. And it's bad. You a president, but you don't have everybody together. Everybody ain't on one accord. Trump would never say that in real on his family. I know it. So I just say sometimes, like Maya Angelou, when a person really show you who they are, believe them. Everybody know how Trump is, but we still have to respect him because he is the president. We don't like the things he do, but maybe one day he'll come to his senses. I think if he turned to God and pray about it and things like that, I think things will be better. Stop being so evil and stop trying to get back at people. Well, if he asks a question, do you expect him to lie? What you mean? Oh, somebody asked him about the man? No, he didn't have to lie. He didn't even have to say that. Come on now. Just be honest with me. Just be honest with me now. Do you think that was appropriate? Let's be real. Do you think that was an appropriate statement? Or do you think that he should have just shut up, didn't say nothing? It would have been better if he hadn't said anything, or he could have let somebody at the White House made a statement about the man death, because he was part of the FBI. It's just that he had him up on the investigating. And I see that if he be put up on a microscope or be investigated, he gonna say all kind of evil and horrible things about you. It doesn't matter. A lot of people ain't surprised at him. But other people that voted for him, are you still satisfied? But you said he was the best president. So Mueller had children, family, and loved ones. Trump, that was disrespectful though. He said that y'all read what he said that someone asked him a question about Mueller, and that's why I guess that was his response. But he don't get it. He don't get it. So it is what it is. It is what it is. It's not about him lying, Francis. It's about having compassion towards others. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. This man got children too. This family made a statement, announced that he was dead. You know, like I said, he was part of the political. He was the FBI for President. I still say President Obama. He was still during the FBI area during those years, and that's when they was doing the Russia thing. And you know, he always said it was a hoax, and that's it. You know, everybody do respect. Everybody do to their respect. So France is okay, y'all. They just speaking their opinion. They're just speaking their opinion. Lower France is just sticking to the topic and not trying to attack no one, and no one in my chat will attack him. Or I want to attack him and he want to attack me. It's okay to have a friendly little dialogue, and everybody's not going to agree. I'm not here trying to just tell people who they should vote for or who not. You have the right to vote for who you want to, but make sure when you vote, you do the right thing. He would never tell family in real life what he said. Oh, no. I don't know, Frank. I don't know. Okay. Let me see what Francis said. I just say it was okay. I'm saying he answered honestly, but he could have worded his response better. See, that's all I'm saying. Because a person asks you something, and see, to me, what make him look so bad, because he's the president. He got to set examples. But I tell you, like I say, and I say this all the time, it doesn't matter who you are, your sex, your race, your political party. Do right by people. Do right by all people, because we all children of God. We all children of God. So he know not what he do. He know not what he do, y'all. He know not what he do. A lot of people just probably say, oh, like Frank said, people ain't surprised. Because some people like that. Some people are just that evil. I'm sorry, friends, but some people are just that evil. Okay. I expect the president of the United States of America 2026 to be honorable, educated, and trustworthy, not drag those grieving. Yep, excuse me. That's true, Mona. But I'm gonna see what did the people say. I'm trying to see what did the White House say about his explanation. So I'm trying to see, did anybody in that White House have a problem with what he said? CNN said he hit a new level with that, y'all. When he said that about that man. They said for years, President Donald Trump has offered grass and insensitive comments about people who died, especially his foes. But on Saturday, explicitly celebrate the death of a former FBI director, Robert Mueller, right? Good. I'm glad he's dead. And as a special counsel, Mueller probed Trump in 2000. This happened in 2016, y'all. When that man was investigating Trump, and Trump ain't let that stuff went yet. Did they arrest him? No. No, they did. He wasn't even president then. Oh, it was during his first. Okay, yes. Okay. Yeah, he was president back then. I see that now. 2016 campaign as the leader of the Russian investigator during President first term. I'm trying to see what do his people have to say about that. What kind of excuse his party got to say? Did he speak at a woman's right convention? I don't know. Did he? I don't really follow him like that. But did he? Okay. So he did. He said the man good. He dead. He can no longer hurt innocent people. Lord. I'm trying to see what he attack everybody. I'm trying to see what do his own people say about him when he do stuff like that. But they said when that man Charlie Kirk got killed, they didn't want nobody to say nothing about him. It's fair enough, but violence for him is not everyone else. Okay. Let me see what you're saying now. At least he was honest and wasn't trying to lie about his feeling. He could have just kept that to himself. I mean, it's a lot of times your mouth can be your own enemy. Your mouth can run things for you. You the president. You're supposed to be showing compassion, even though you don't even like the man. The man was doing his job. The FBI was doing his job like he allegedly supposed to be doing his job. And like I said, we are not going to agree on everything. Even some of the things that Francis is saying. I know a lot of people in my chat probably don't agree with what he's saying, but that's his opinion. And we have to respect that. Trump didn't like the man. Everybody already knew what happened in 2016 when he was first ran for president and how they investigated him and the man wrote all that stuff. But what happened? He still stayed president. He didn't do that. He president and now again. So you still got your job. It ain't like whatever they was trying to find, they didn't find it. And it didn't stop him from running for president again. So he just should have just said, rest in peace. Tell the family I'm sorry for your loss. That would have looked better on him. Sometimes you have to be the better person, the bigger person, the better person, the bigger man, bigger woman. Sometimes you have to just say, look. But, something like I always say, some people don't know how to be reasonable. Some people don't know how to move on. Some people will hold grudges to you till they die in bed. Sometimes, in order for you to have peace, you'll have to let things go. You'll have to be the one that said, look, enough is enough. I'm still with the dream team. I'm still on that side. But in HR, it's just too much. They went from advocating to having personal fights, bringing stuff on YouTube. They shouldn't be on YouTube. And I had to, me, myself, personally, with me having if you got real life stuff, you want to make sure you good mentally, that kind of stuff, I can't agree with it. I can't deal with it. I hang around for a few, they get acting like that, I got to go. I ain't got time. I'm too busy trying to keep my blood pressure down. And I refuse to let anyone on social media have me going to the hospital stressing about people I don't know. I'm not finna do it. You can think, you can say whatever you want, but you don't know me. You see what I'm saying? Because somebody have to be the better person. Somebody got to be the bigger person. No, I'm just speaking. Just saying because, people will show you who they are. Like Maya Angelou, when people show you who they really are, believe them. Everybody know how that man is, but we still have to respect him. We ain't gonna agree with him. When he first what this turn here, he said he was gonna. I think a lot of people thought they were gonna get some stimulus checks. Has anybody got one yet? Has anybody got a stimulus check yet? Oh my goodness. Have anybody got one? Y'all do, let me know. I mean, a lot of people don't look at, they wasn't, they didn't want no woman leading for one thing. But one day it's going to happen. One day a woman will become president. Like I said, this Women History Month, and we have had a first, they're going to say she ain't black, but she was the first woman was after Shirley Chisholm to run for president. Kamala Harris. And he can't stand her calling a woman. He was calling a woman all kind of names. He wasn't saying her name correctly. He just, oh my goodness, that bad. If you just sit there and listen to him, he'll have you just that loony. I'm just telling you. So Francis, I mean, I can't even see my comments, so I gotta go to YouTube and see all the advice. I ain't get no comments. Y'all left out the chat. Well, I probably need to refresh it, but let's see. Thank you for the floating heart. Somebody gave me some flow heart. Let me see. Hold on. I gotta refresh. Yeah, the housing bad for Americans already. Why the world would we bring even more people in if we can't take care of our own citizens? Oh, the walking challenge. Let me show y'all. Honey, we didn't got it. If you want to walk, Mona. That's the wrong thing. But it's Francis, are you new to me? Are you new to me, Francis? Thank you for coming in, but it's okay to have a good dialogue, good conversation. Nobody feelings getting hurt. Everybody opinion does count. I'm finna go back up and see what I missed because I need to I gotta refresh my computer because I can't see the comments. Oh, there you go. Okay, let me go back up. I done missed some comments. But that's what it is, Mama. Let Francis, he okay. She okay. I'm assuming it's a lady, Francis Commission. Maybe it's a lady. I'm thinking. They don't have a picture, but they're okay. They ain't said nothing disrespectful. They just speaking how they feel about their president. So let them live. But yeah, Mona, it's a walking challenge. It is a walking challenge. So, but if you're not able to walk now, because I have my issues too. I'm gonna walk for a few days. I have joint issues and that pain in my foot. It still be hitting me. I couldn't even put my foot down last year that much. I'm trying to go back and see what he was saying. Okay, America was founded on immigrants. To be honest, every country was who we turned around and not others the freedom we got. Okay. Me, they child, limit resources and houses for one. Oh, okay. Right there. Limit research because of tariffs, but immigrants add to the economy. Housing is bad all over. COVID and the economy taxing. Yeah. That COVID still out there. It ain't going nowhere. Y'all be careful out there. The walking channel, we got a walker can those in wheelchairs boogie down the street on talent. If you want to do that, that's fine. Cause I have one of those little roller things. I have one of those. But I'm gonna use my cane and hop. Don't put yourself in a position if you can't do it now, Mom. Tariffs affect the importers, which are American business who pass it on to the citizen, no matter the state. Jobs get out. Only ones winning are the billionaires. That's true, y'all. That's why I got off YouTube. Yes, honey. Ooh, I got real life stuff going on. A child. I don't have time to be trying to. Thanks for the floating heart, Francis. We appreciate you for coming in, Francis. I'm finna go see if you got a channel over here. Let me see if Francis got a channel. Now, one of my members named Brian. Ooh, good thing he ain't in him. You and him would be getting along good. Cause he one of my members over here. He with Trump, but we respect my member Brian over here too. Cause he said he's a conservative, and I don't judge people by who they vote for and stuff like that. So I just went to your channel. You don't have a 1 subscriber, so you really don't have a channel. But I see you do have some videos on your channel, like I don't know if these games or comics or something like that. So I just went to your channel. He only have 1 subscriber, so this is my first time seeing you in my chat. And thank you for coming in, Francis. Hey, James. How you been doing, James Money? Good to see you. I ain't seen you in a minute. You doing okay? Good to see you. Hope everybody have enjoyed their beautiful day. It's spring. People get a chance to be outside a little bit longer to enjoy the sunshine. And if you're working in your gardens or if you're doing any planting, this time of year is good because the weather is just right. Shout out to my members. Shout out to everybody that is supporting me. I do appreciate each and every one of y'all. Let's see. Francisco. That was your name? Okay. Francisco. Okay. I got you. Well, thank you for coming through, Francisco. See, that went well, guys. That went well. That went well. Yep, that went well. So, But anyway, that's what we'll be doing this week. And I'm also focusing on my anti-inflammatory foods and stuff like that. I'm trying to do right because I'm going on vacation, and kids, we're going to the beach on the 1st through the 3rd. Then in May, we're going on a cruise. So I got to get, I know when I get through doing all that, I got to get back right, Mom. I know I'm going to be messing up. I already know. But in the meanwhile, we got challenges for the rest of the month and just about all of March. What cruise line? I got to get with my daughter. We're going to the Bahamas. We're taking my granddaughter for her graduation. My first grandchild is graduating in May, so we're taking her on a cruise. Mona, if you want to do some challenges, just let us know, and we can put your challenges on the list when we do some more. I think after May, we're coming up to May. We'll probably do the first few weeks. But I know Miss Keith's son is graduating, and we probably have to be getting together with the families, doing some stuff. So right before the graduation, we might just stop, and then we'll start back after the graduation, and when everybody get through doing their family stuff, and we'll start back with some new ones. And we start when the holidays come up. We take a little break and come back the following year. But anybody can come up with some. Just let us know. Mona, you got my email? If you got my email, you can send them to my email. And when we make another group, we can put them on there. Last cruise line was on, went to Alaska. Okay. Mona, girl, I'm going to tell you about that cruise. That cruise, you can eat all day. Because you pay for you're paying for your food, your ticket. When you pay your ticket, food, all that be included. When them kids took me for my birthday, because this is going to be my second cruise. Child, them folks had food all day. All day. I think my granddaughter stayed in the kitchen. And all of them going this time, y'all. Even the baby. All of them going. My husband, all of them going this time. I already told my children, I ain't messing with them. I'm trying to get pounds off. Shoot. I'm going to start all back over again, y'all. Most. See, they have certain times, like they have times where they do some breakfast. They have something out every day. I think my little granddaughter stayed getting ice cream. I'm like, ugh. Every time I look around, I go eat. If I eat like them already, my metabolism is so high. I can't stay and eat all this stuff. If I do, it gonna show. It's already showing enough. So I have to limit myself. Woo-woo. But when you're on vacation, like everything, you put out everything. You didn't forget about everything then. The food was great. They even had activities all night long. Yeah. They have casinos. They have like comedy shows. They do like it'd be a time where they have like a ball or something like Captain Night. You get a chance to dress up and stuff like that. I am a girl. You know what I be them kid, Mickey. You know how that be. They be like, Grandma, you ain't gotta eat that stuff. You know how you be feeling. Oh my goodness. The food here in Alaska was fresh as made. The fish here. What? See, like frozen fish stick. Oh my God. Oh, you went zip lining, bike riding? Oh, okay. Mickey, you're right. You're so right. You are so right, girl. Ooh, child. I go down there to I just want some spinach. I mean, I'm gonna stick to some of the stuff I'm supposed to eat now. But it be hard, y'all. Ooh, Jesus. But yeah, Mickey, Mona wanna she said she wanna give us some challenges. I told her, Mona, you got my email? Do you got my email? If you got my email, you can email us the challenge, and then make here, she be the one do the thumbnail and stuff like that. Shout out to everybody that's working on them, doing something for them, Yeah. You ready? You come up with a couple. We gonna like they said, we'll coordinate together. And cause we always want to try something different and stuff in a way. That's it right now. Get it, cause I don't want no weird people to be getting my email. You got it? Cause I don't want to be getting we already get those spam calls. I get enough of those emails too. I be have to delete a lot of them. I'm subscribing. My notification just be going off, y'all. And then you be thinking it be something, then it be something somebody trying to sell some or any little thing. Did you get it, Mom? It was actually really calm and the boat was full, but everyone was friendly and nice. Okay. I see some of the issues going on these days on the cruises, so I avoid them. Yeah, it was I know I was on that boat. Pills and stuff, because some people get nausea and stuff like that. And so we had took some pills and stuff. But I felt that like that boat was like, woo. I felt it when it was going like this, right? I felt it. I'm like, ooh. All right. Yeah, I'm finna erase it, Frank. I was trying to let Mona get it because she said she wanna put some challenges, some challenges she think we ought to try. I'm trying to see where is it? I'm trying to slide back up. Did you get it, Mona? Because I'm finna erase it. Y'all know how I be. I don't like to get freaked out. They might say, y'all know what happened when the folk came on my when they came on my what's it called? When the folk came on my panel that day, messed me up for days. Sure don't want to see that no more. And I know people be sending out like on Facebook and stuff. People be sending stuff all day, every day. I be blocking so many people. You be thinking to be somebody important sending you messages and stuff. Then some people just, a lot of people be trying to catfish people. Told y'all better watch out for them catfishes. They be trying to catfish people. They'll say they one way, and then they don't really be who they profile is. But anyway, guys, I just want to bring to y'all just some history. Y'all know I do history over here. I do wellness. I do meal preps. I talk about my family and sharing about my own real life wellness journey. We talk about current events, celebrity news going on, and stuff like that. And like we were having a little dialogue about Trump. Everybody said how they said. They know how they feel. But we respect one thing over here. I tell my moderators, when people come in, we don't know, we give them a chance and see how they talk. And long as they showing respect to the host, me, of course. And if I have anybody on my panel and then making sure they don't respect the chat, you'll be good to go. You'll be good to go. Because it's all about respect with me, I try to teach my kids to be respectful. Because respect goes a long way. It's obvious Trump missed the boat somewhere, but hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. I ain't gonna lose no sleep over Trump. No. But he need to get them prices down. That gonna slow a lot of people down from traveling too. If the gas, because I know it's I think it's 369. I would say it's 369 over here right now. Yeah. 369 a gallon. I know they're saying something about the oil or something. That's why it's the way it is. But it's okay to get out and enjoy some vacation sometime. And I always be careful out there because we know that COVID is still out there. Some people still wear their mask too. I thank God that it's not as bad as it was a few years ago. Y'all remember when that COVID first came out? How we had to be isolated, couldn't go nowhere. Children were at home with you, eating up everything. Y'all remember that? When that COVID was out there bad, could nobody do that but be on social media? Because they couldn't go nowhere. Couldn't go nowhere. You know, you would buy what you need, go back home with your mask on, and holler at children all day because the children couldn't go to school. Boy, boy, boy. I was so glad when they lifted that. Can I talk about that? Them children got to go to school. Because they eating a house out of home. But yeah, you know, we lost loved ones during that time. And, you know, like I said, this flu season also. And you know this allergy season, y'all. Pollen, hay fever. A lot of people get that stuff going on every year like me. You gotta be protected from that because that pollen get in your clothes and get on you. So you outside, you probably have to change when you get in the house because you don't really want, and it's get in your house and no window sills and stuff. That pollen is bad. I heard my husband say something about he was real stuffy. And see, now last week we was still turning our heat on. But this week, I think we're gonna have to have them fans and air conditioner, or maybe the fans, yeah, air conditioner too, but that kind of type of stuff will make people sick. You know, we have to go according to the way the weather is. But if anybody else live now, because I'm about to get on off of here, I really enjoyed everyone. I live in the country myself, so I'm surrounded by allergy causing stuff. It's horrible. Yeah, it's terrible. I remember those masks. Please, everyone, take care. Yeah, I'm glad it ain't like it was. When did school lower the bar? It was like, what it was, 2020, y'all? What year that was? Was it 2020 when that COVID first came out? And everybody had to stay in the house. Nobody couldn't go nowhere. Nobody didn't go get no nails done. People wasn't going to get no haircuts. That's how people growing their hair. That's how my grandson and my son, all of them started growing their hair. They started getting dreads, and because they couldn't go to the barbershops and stuff. I think they had shut down everything. You know when it first hit, I think, I'm trying to see what year that was. What year? Because those kids stayed out of school, my West say a whole year. Just about a whole year. Oh, it started in, it was 2019, because that's what they had called it, COVID-19. And they used to be saying, you better talk about it on your channel. They're going to take your channel. They used to say that. You know, I used to mention it, but, you know, I used to be saying the C word. Because they were saying, they don't want you talking about it. I mean, that was the only way you have to educate yourself about it. But, yeah, it started in 2019. And the first case in the, I'm looking at it on my phone. It came out of 2019. And the first case was January of 2020. They did a declaration. I mean, nobody couldn't do nothing. Couldn't go to the beaches. Couldn't do nothing. Gathering. And then when they was having funerals and stuff, they wasn't, you know, you wasn't able to be around too many people at the funeral because they had certain amounts, and then people had to wear the mask. It was terrible. I hope we don't have to go back that way. Lord Jesus. I lost some relatives during that time. So May of 2023, the WHO declares an end of public health emergency of a national concern. So they really just stop like mandating and making it like a official thing in 2023. But they said COVID-19 still circulates among the global population. Talk to your primary care clinic about the COVID-19 vaccine and learn what COVID-19 symptoms look like. Even though they globally didn't stop, but it's still there. And they still got a vaccine. I think I took 1 or 2 of those vaccines. I didn't take the last one, but I did take 2 of them. And I get I be getting the flu shot. Yep. But anyway, I want to thank everybody that came through. Anybody else live that was in the chat. And like I said, Francisco, welcome and thank you for coming in. I hope to see you come back over. Like I said, he said, I can't even see the comments on my computer. I got to go to my phone. Francisco said they don't wear masks all the time in China or Japan. Okay. See, now it's not mandate. Y'all, let's welcome Francisco to the chat. Welcome, Francisco. And it was good talking to you, chatting with you, and hope to see you back again, you know. But anyway, guys, what y'all have for dinner? Put in the chat what y'all have for dinner right quick. Gonna wrap this up. I had some green beans and I got some honey barbecue chicken. No bread. Trying to cut back on the bread and sugar, stuff like that. Food, eat more food with fiber. Okay, Francisco, you have a good day too. Yep, thank God for the weather. Okay, Mona, email me what you got and we'll work something out. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate each and every one of y'all. You gonna make steak round? Okay. You got you some veggies? Oh, Frank, Lord Jesus. I watched it. I finished watching it last night. You know I gotta talk about it. I'm gonna talk about it one day that we, Frank. Woo! If y'all ain't seen Beauty and Blight, goodness. And this is on Netflix. I'm gonna talk about it. What Mario? I might talk about it. Called Tuesday. I'll be doing tea and talking tea. So I might talk about that. Ooh, chat. I still do my testimony Tuesday. I do it like monthly, you know, when a new month come in, I'm gonna do it. But potatoes and mushroom, ooh, that mama, that Olivia, I can take her. That woman is too bad, y'all. I don't think I would trust Mallory. I'm gonna talk about it. I think I missed the episode. I saw the episode where she set the house on fire. But did they show an episode where they jumped on the guy? What episode that was, Frank? I think I missed the episode. I said I was going to go back. I think I missed one because I was watching it at my daughter's house. And then when I got home, I was trying to finish watching it and I forgot what about I left off at. But I was reading. So what episode that is? That's the episode I missed. You know what episode that is? Because I read what they said all of them jumped on Roy, right? So I'm going to go back in there and try to go back and watch it. But, ooh. But that Olivia, I'm going to talk about it. Keep thinking you're talking to me because I got by Frank. Oh, what you talking about, Francisco? You said you were going to have some mushrooms. Yeah, that sound good. Potatoes and mushroom. That sound good. I'm not a spoiler. People been talking about it, but I gotta go back and see that part now. You don't know what episode it is? Cause like I said, I was watching it up to my daughter house, right? Cause the kid was in there. I couldn't hardly. It was off on the hook. Was it? I seen enough. What the man name? Jesus. Oh my God, that's just too much. I told my grandchildren, go on in there. Y'all don't need to watch it. I'm gonna talk about it this week. I gotta go watch that episode I missed. But that Roy, you don't know what episode? I'm gonna have to go back. I missed one or two episodes. Because I read what they said. Okay, Francisco, good to see you. I mean, it was glad to see you. It was good to meet you. Come back whenever you get a chance, and you enjoy the rest of your night and rest of your week. I'm finna get off of here, but the man name, the lawyer, ooh, child, he done a little bit too much for me. Ooh, I was a Tyler Perry. I'd be shaming himself. But that's that's their thing. But Lord have mercy. Oh, Jesus. Right. That little man hopped up on that big old man. I said, what? I thought he was a little girl at first. I thought he was a girl. This was a man. I was about to sleep. I ran. And I tuned in. I was like, what in the world going on here? But anyway, I'm going to talk about it. When I finish watching the other part, I'm going to talk about it, y'all. But they showed out. They showed out. Her looked good. He looking so handsome. But anyway, Frank, I know you didn't want to watch that part, Frank. When that little man hopped up on the other man. Oh, I seen it. I seen the last few part, but I missed somewhere in the middle. I gotta see what episode I missed. I'm gonna go back when I get off here now. I'm gonna go back and just stroll up. I missed the episode, but that lawyer, Lord have mercy, he just got too much going on. He got too much going on. I know I was laughing at that dude, Charles. He's so funny to me. But I'm gonna talk about it one day this week. But anyway, y'all, I'm gonna go finish. I think I missed the episode. I seen a little clipping where she posed something on him. I didn't see that episode. So I'm gonna go back and watch. So I got it going on, ain't y'all? That's all, but what the lawyer name? He got men all after him. Look like the other brother want him to. I'm like, what in the world going on here? I'm sure I got both of the brothers want him, don't it? And that Roy, he put his tail in anything. I better look. I'm gonna talk about it. That just don't make no sense. If he ain't got no kind of disease, something wrong with him. That man just he like a little rabbit. Ain't that but sex in the world. Ain't that but sex in the world, y'all. No way. Okay, that's the part I missed. I'm gonna go back and watch that. That's the episode I missed. But I'm gonna do a review on it. But I'm gonna try to have it be laughing because it was funny to me. It was fun on some of them parts. I'm like, oh my God. But all right, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Like I said, we're starting to walk 5-day walking tomorrow. You can either record it, you can do it on a live stream or record it. We'll be able to see it. And if you're able to do it, do it. But if you're not, don't put yourself out. Like I know my limits. I know my limits because I know how these feet and knees is. So I'm gonna do what I'm at least I can put it down this time. When y'all had the walking thing before, I couldn't do it because I couldn't put my feet down. It was hurting too bad. And every now and then that pain shoot up in my ankle. I think I'm gonna put my little brace thing on my foot just to be on the safe side. But thank y'all for coming over. I don't know what all y'all had for dinner, but I hope y'all enjoy y'all dinner. Have a blessed night. Appreciate everybody for coming through. And like I said, this is Women History Month, and I shared some women that did put an impact on the world, from Harriet Tubman, Sojourner Truth, Susan B. Anthony, Angela, later name. Hold on, see the names. I go through them again. But anyway, thank y'all for being y'all. I love my chat. I love my moderators, my members. Y'all know how to handle things. Like I said, as long as people being respectful, that's okay. I talked about Susan B. Anthony, Eleanor Roosevelt, Amelia Earhart, Florence Nightingale, Sojourner Truth, Maya Angelou, Rosa Parks, Shirley Chisholm, and Harriet Tubman. They're all trailblazers. They all made some type of history, and some type of accomplishment to the world. And I want to thank everybody again, and thank you, Francisco, for coming through. You was new coming in. Thank you for sharing your input about Trumpster. Like I said, I didn't vote for him, but he's still our president. And, it's all up to the person to respect him, even though he don't respect people. The way he said about that man, it wasn't appropriate. It's a time and place for everything, It's a time and place for everything. And I don't think by him as being the president, that was a good look for him. But like I said, people are not surprised. They know how he is. But only thing I want to say, and I'm going to get ready to go, treat people the way you want to be treated. Just as simple as that. On that note, y'all have a good night, a good week. Stay encouraged, stay blessed, and always stay what? Prayed up. And until next time, bye-bye. I was trying to end it. Like I didn't want to end. Because I got that